off at Laura, Blurplexed CPS. So here's how she starts it, and then we're gonna skip through all of her. Let's be honest, it wasn't reading. What she was doing wasn't reading. It was like half reading and garbled, mumbling with a side of dry mouth, and I just can't handle that shit. So we're gonna skip through all the other stuff and then just go to the end. We're gonna watch the beginning and the end because I mean that's the only part that really matters anyway. Because I mean it's fucking Laura. Like she repeats the same thing over and over and over again and acts like it's groundbreaking. So, all right, let's add this here. The Gangsters of YouTube is what she titled it. Oh, Laura. Why you gotta do this to me? And once again, we still have the stranger's avatar up here. Still not quite sure who this is. Just a random person that Laura decides to LARP as.
I mean, I knew it had to do with organized crime, but I thought, now hear me out, but I thought that the reason why they used the RICO Act is so they could add all these other people in the lawsuit without actually with them having to live in the state of Pennsylvania. I was like, damn, this is like brilliant. Then I started looking into RICO laws in Pennsylvania. It is strictly for organized crime. Guys, this is YouTube. No, there's no organized crime on YouTube.
I think that we should all just take a moment to thank Laura for sharing her insight and her law knowledge with us. Because, I mean, she took a lot of time out of her day, guys. She was on Google. She was researching RICO. I mean, I feel like we owe her a big thank you and a round of applause, perhaps. So, Laura, thank you for this little nugget because I needed this today.
The fact that they're trying to use that, I understand a judge may not understand how YouTube works, but to claim that there's organized crime with who the head leader being fucking Granny's Watching? All right, newsflash, guys. The only reason Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady are involved in this is very simple. Because they live in Pennsylvania. That's it. That's it. They live in Pennsylvania, so they got named.
I'm so glad we had Laura here to break that part down for us. I'm so glad that she explained that because I was super confused. I really wasn't sure, why they would pick the only two people that happen to live in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Out of everybody in the entire world, why would they only pick them? I'm so glad that Laura broke that down because I was super confused. I've been sitting here all weekend scratching my fucking brain, wondering, why Barbecue Lady? Why Granny's Watching? This makes no sense. What links them together? But, I mean, thank God for Laura coming in clutch, man.
Dog the Bounty Hunter. Have you ever seen him hang out with Brittany J? Yeah, I haven't either. Have you ever seen him, be in her chats or anything? No, I haven't either. I have a feeling he's flipping the...
So, the lawsuit was filed by At Night Media, which is an umbrella corporation with the plaintiffs being, and if I forget one, somebody help me out, please. So, the plaintiffs being Bullhorn Betty, Tony Mathis, Seth Rogers, Julia the Dog Handler, Brittany J, Nick the Hat, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and Hong, I think is that it? Was there just 8? Just 8. That sounds crazy when I say that. So those were the 8 plaintiffs, and it was filed against Barbecue_Lady and Granny's Watching. Now, it was filed in the afternoon, Friday, so it didn't make it across a judge's desk as of yet. They filed it, so it is, when you look it up on the court website, it shows filed, but it hasn't gone anywhere past that. At Night Media Corporation has organized a presser for Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern to further explain this and I guess explain their future actions as well. That's what it is.
Bill for this? Because that was my first thought. Well, who the fuck is paying for this?
Right. Nobody has been served yet. Like Doxy said, nobody has been served yet. Nobody's been served yet because it hasn't actually made it across the judge's desk. It's the complaint. It hasn't made it to the point of where anybody would need to have service yet. So now if the judge signs off on it and says, yes, I think there's legitimate claims. Yes, I think this complaint has, some validity to it. Then he would sign off on it. They would set a date and the defendants would be served.
I personally think the lawyer's a little wacky, but at the same time, he's a lawyer and he works for the client. So if his client goes to him, hey, here's 10 grand. This is what I need you to write. The lawyer's going to say, all right, no problem. Here we go. I'm going to write it up. A lot of people are under the misconception that that the client works for the lawyer. No, the lawyer works for the client. And if he really is Nick.
Oh, I get that, Wanderlust thing. I've had to do that many, many times. And it's good to do that. Laura, okay. So you're stupid, and I know that. So I'm just going to say this as simply as possible. A lawyer can choose to not file a complaint. If I went to a lawyer right now and said, I want to sue whoever this person is in this fucking AI avatar because she said that my eyebrows were super ugly, even if I paid him $10,000, the lawyer could say, that's fucking stupid and we're not doing that. Okay, Laura, so you're wrong. That just because you pay a lawyer doesn't mean he has to do what you say. That's not it. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works, actually. This explains why your custody case took 11,000 years.
And Dog's lawyer for a long time, he's not going to question them. He's just going to say, all right, give me what you got. I'll write it up, whatever. This was not a cheap write-up. This is expensive. If the lawyer actually wrote all this took some time.
What do you mean if the lawyer actually wrote it? Who the fuck else wrote it? Dr. Seuss? Who else would have wrote it, Laura? The lawyer wrote it. What are you talking about? Yeah. This is not real life.
But I want to get into some of the bullshit that I read once I really looked into it. Now, let me also start by saying I haven't really heard anybody else discuss this, but I kind of tend to believe that this is Seth's payback. And I told Patreons this a couple of days ago.
Laura,
this is actually Seth's payback for a member on his team getting ousted from the team, meaning Betty, because of the Proud Fits. So in my opinion, this is kind of Seth's way.
Yeah, guys, Laura's the only one that thought that. Laura's the only one that had that thought. She was the only one that had that inclination. Hey, German lady, what's up? I haven't seen you around in a long time. Hey, Kentucky Cooter. Laura's the only one that thought that, guys. So if you guys ever thought that, just know that you probably stole that idea from Laura because she was the OG for that idea. She's got all the brain power.
Way of fighting back. And I mentioned this in Granny's live yesterday. I'm sorry, in Jones's live last night, that I really do believe this is.
I don't think so, Wanderlusting. He went live today. Actually, I had that kind of queued up to play. It's his live that he did on X. So I don't think so. I think that might have been speculation and rumor.
This could be, I'm not saying for sure, but this absolutely could be almost like a form of retaliation by Seth. Like, haha, you took down one of my team members. Well, I'm going to take yours, bitch. Something like that. Because
I don't think Granny's Watching and barbecue_lady are actually team members of the Proudfoots. I mean, I could be wrong because I am not incredibly invested in this case and I am not privy to insider information by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I don't think so. I don't actually think so.
Because the way this is written and the things that are involved in this are so ludicrous to me. They don't even make sense under Pennsylvania law. They don't make sense under any law or the way lawsuits work. It's weird. I know I have all that. That's crazy too, Lana. Like, I'm like, whoa, did you guys see this? We're going to get to that though.
What are you doing?
Okay. That's one of the things that threw me off with how shady this lawyer is. Why would you use unsupervised maniacs when somebody wrote you something? That has nothing to do with anything of the two people involved. That has nothing to do with Granny's Watching, and that has absolutely nothing to do with Barbecue Lady. So why did they throw it in? It makes no sense at all. No sense. But we're going to get to all that.
Unsupervised maniacs email literally did name Granny's Watching, Laura. Did you read it? Do you know how to fucking comprehend anything? It literally said in black and white, Granny's Watching. It named her in there. Hey, Firefly, I didn't notice your name because you said allegedly in my opinion. Everybody changed their names and now it just blends all together.
I promise. All right, so one thing I want to back up and say is when you have a lawsuit, you have to name the people that are involved. Best way I can explain this, if you look at Betty's lawsuit against QB, Betty's lawsuit is like a fucking joke. I mean, it's literally a joke. But one of the things she does is throughout the lawsuit, she mentions Dolly, she mentions Molly. Queen Bee had said that she mentions Molly like 19 times or something. But they can't do anything about it because Molly's not named in the lawsuit. So you can throw as many names out there as you want.
Laura, they aren't. Holy fuck. You are a grown-up. Why am I explaining this? They are named in the lawsuit. You just said Molly was named in the lawsuit 19 times, but she's not named in the lawsuit. The fuck? Yes, she is. She is named in the lawsuit. Now, is she a defendant? No, she's not. It's an example. Generally, when they name people, it's in an exhibit, which I'm guessing that nobody told Laura that the exhibits had dropped. And I don't think that she read them because I just don't think she did because of the way that the rest of her conversation goes. I'm going to be willing to bet that she didn't read the exhibits, which is fine if she didn't, but she would know that they did actually say names in the exhibits.
It doesn't matter if they're not actually named in the lawsuit. That's what's happening here. They have all of these different accusations, all of these different things against Queen Bee and 50 other named Jane Does or whatever it is. Now, again, I'm not an attorney, but I can tell you that they're not named in the lawsuit. It's all frivolous. All that shit is frivolous and means nothing. The only thing that truly matters is what the two people that are named in the
no, I didn't wonder listing. I was kind of gonna briefly just go over it and encompass that with tonight's Sunday service, just like a Cliff's Notes version of it. But I didn't really want to dive deep into it because I'm not a lawyer and I don't have an incredibly deep understanding of how it works. And I definitely don't know how Pennsylvania law works. So I feel like I might have been giving out a lot of, falsities if I did that. So I was just going to kind of do a Cliff's Notes version of it.
lawsuit, and there's no way they can prove that Granny's Watching or Barbecue Lady is part of this grand conspiracy of organized crime. Granny's Watching was relatively small before this case. And the case happened to blow up. We all know why she jumped on the bandwagon of this case. And honestly, I kind of feel like this is partly karma for her. Bringing Lycan into court, making Lycan give up his guns. I'm not a big Lycan fan, but shit, this is straight up karma for Granny's Watching.
So if you feel threatened by somebody and you get a restraining order against them, and then later on down the line, you happen to be the recipient of a lawsuit, that's your fucking karma. That's your karma. Okay, sure. I don't think that's how karma works, Laura. Actually, I know that's not how karma works, but you just keep thinking what you want to think, and I'm just going to keep thinking the truth.
But that's a whole nother sidetrack. So I pulled up the court documents.
Oh, good.
I'm not showing them all. I know you guys have been on 1,000 different channels where they're going through all of it. And I did go before this because of it shows names and addresses and stuff. So the history of the case, plaintiffs commenced the instant action of filing a complaint in equity contemporarily herewith. A true and correct copy of the complaint is attached hereto and made a part hereof, Exhibit A. Okay, so really what they're asking for in these 2 pages, because that's all it is, or 3 pages, because this is really all it is they want them to stop talking about Seth.
Out of the 83 pages, she said, these are the only 3 pages that matter. This is all it is. Just these 3 pages. Fuck the other 323 pages. Fuck the other 83 pages of the complaint. Fuck all that. It's just these first 3 pages. Just the cover letter. That's all that matters. That's all anybody cares about. Oh, God, Laura. Oh, shit. Why are you so stupid? I can't. You're going to make me start scratching my head.
They want them to stop talking about Seth on a live stream, Brittany on a live stream, all the defendants named, okay? They want them to now. All right. So part number 2 is complete nonsense.
I'm going to go with that Laura didn't actually read this before she pulled it up, and she's just seeing it now for the first time.
They cannot tell somebody how and who they can raise money for their own lawsuit. And then they add in that it must be transparent. They must have complete transparency. Well, wouldn't that be nice? It's really a shame, though, that the other side cannot request this. I mean, you can try to request it, but a judge is going to laugh at you because it just can't happen. And I double check this with an attorney. You just can't happen. You're not going.
Well, what attorney? Wait, you double check this with an attorney. Who? Laura, act like you have an attorney at your fingertips that you can just text on a friggin' Sunday afternoon and say, hey, I have a question. Come on. Don't pull my leg, Laura.
To have the other attorney be able to tell you how to raise money or how that money should be. So that is absolute bullshit. Prohibiting defendants trade and sang along with their associate from making any defense. Okay, so they want them to stop talking about Seth, Tony, At Night Media, Dog the Bounty Hunter. That is 100% right in their right. They should do that. I think that is fantastic, and that should be in there, okay? Directing defendants trade and sang to cease any attempts to portray, disclose, or release the private information, identities, or family details of plaintiffs or associated individuals. Okay, I'll agree with that too. I will absolutely agree with that too. Requiring defendants that reference plaintiffs.
Oh, Jesus. Laura, what? What the fuck is going on, Laura? Even your microphone is telling you to shut the fuck up.
In a bad way. Whoop. Thank you, Lana. Thank you. Woo-hoo, super chat. Thank you, hon.
Remember when Laura used to do the super chat train thing? She used to go, super chat train, woo woo, super chat train, chugga chugga, woo woo. Dude, and for anybody that thinks that I'm making that up, I'm not fucking making that up. Laura used to do that. I hope she does it today because that would make my life 10 times better.
All right, I think, I could be wrong, but I think that a court does have a right to tell you that you should remove videos. I'm pretty sure they do. So I'll go with that one. That one is check, perfectly okay. Ordering defendants to reimburse plaintiffs for any cost incurred in addressing or mitigating the harm caused by the defendant's unauthorized disclosures and defamatory content. Okay.
Tyler Feller used to do that too. Oh my God, that's probably where Laura got it. Laura is a huge Tyler Feller fangirl. huge Tyler Feller fangirl, so that makes sense. All right, so I'm not going to sit here and we're not going to listen to Laura read all this because it's painful and it makes me want to punch myself directly in the face. So we're just going to skip on right by some of this. And I think it was about here.
Trey, dude, get your title right. And I, private intelligence agency and dog amplify ward 100,000. Okay, there's barbecue lady.
It's barbecue_lady. Thank you.
Should raise 540 out of 25. I need to do a GoFundMe.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You've done enough. You have done enough. You have done enough fundraisers for all kinds of fake bullshit. Laura, you do not need a fucking GoFundMe. No. For what? For what? A new AI app? Because this one's fucking terrible. That I could get behind. If you do a GoFundMe for a new AI app, I will literally donate 99 cents to your stupid fucking GoFundMe so you can buy a new AI app.
Exhibit 30. Another one from Coleman. Brad Norton, I don't even know who this is.
Of course you don't, because you don't pay attention.
Barbecue lady. Okay. Now we get to.
Oh, here's where Laura is really going to get into it with the unsupervised maniacs tattletale email. So, for those of you who don't know, unsupervised maniacs decided to be a big giant fucking tattletaler, and she decided to write an email to the tip line. There are influencers on YouTube claiming your law firm is corrupt. She inserted the link. That is the channel that clipped it to show the community what they are doing. You will notice the creators are the ones tagged. This is the live stream and channel with the creators on panel that are doing it. One is called Your Office, not sure for what. Again, another link. The channel names are Illuminati, and here's where Laura was mistaken and said that unsupervised maniacs never said Granny's watching thing. The names are Illuminati, Granny's watching, Queen Bee. Also, there are Twitter accounts associated with your law firm, blah, 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 blah. So, moral of the story is unsupervised maniacs is a big giant tattletale, and Laura's a fucking idiot.
To unsupervised maniac. Thank you, Lana. I don't know why this was written. I don't know why she got involved in it. I don't know why she had to fucking get involved in it. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, Laura. Maybe for the same reason somebody fucking calls CPS on somebody on YouTube because they hurt their feelings over words on the internet. Maybe for that same reason. Maybe because you guys are both real lifers. Did you ever think about that? No, I don't think you ever did think about that. Two real life peas in a pod at this point.
Is this going real life? Yes, it is. She should have never written this letter. It was pointless. But why it was turned in is even worse. Why they added this to the lawsuit is disgusting. Now here's Nick's parole. In addition to the conditions of parole previously imposed, you are subject to the following condition imposed. You shall not work with law enforcement agencies without express written consent from the parole board. There are no exceptions. Nick the Hat is not allowed to look for any child, is not allowed to be part of any child. Missing case here at any point due to his parole.
Oh, who wants to bet that fucking Laura is going to end up named next because she doesn't know how to shut the fuck up? She doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. Laura, you don't know how to shut the fuck up.
Why this is in here, I do not know. But it says clearly, September 19th, Nick the Hat is not to work with any law enforcement agency without express written consent from the entire parole board. Nick, you're a fucking loser.
Nope, right there. That's it. That's it. Nice knowing you, Laura. If you didn't fucking kill your channel with the CPS thing, you definitely killed your channel with that. Way to go. Way to go, Laura. Love that for you. Love that for you. I almost think that Laura wants a lawsuit at this point, though. Yeah, exactly. Texas Bluebonnet just nailed it. She feels left out. She does. She's really, really trying to grasping onto the little teeny tiny crumb of relevancy that she has left. And I know for a fucking fact that Laura would start a GoFundMe in 0.2 seconds flat. And I can tell you right now, Laura's GoFundMe would be a lot more than 5,000. Laura's GoFundMe would probably be in the same range as barbecue_ladies.
You shall not directly or indirectly or through third-party forms have contact with Christopher Proudfoot and his family. This letter includes social media and or a text or any other forms of contact under any condition for any reason. There are no exceptions. Signed by Nick the Hat, 919. Why is this in here? I do not know. That is not a good look. Hong Zi.
I think the purpose, and this is just me speculating, but I think that the purpose for them including that declaration from the parole board was to show that Nick is not interfering with any kind of law enforcement involvement. I'm pretty sure that that's why. I think, no, I have her sped up to 1.5 because she she talks so fucking slow. I can turn her down. I can turn it down. Yeah, I think they included that just to show that Nick is not working hand in hand with law enforcement, that he's working with an independent agency. I'm pretty sure that was the point of that exhibit, but Laura can't use deductive reasoning to save her life. So, Laura, speak.
Okay, now he's managing partner again. This guy can't get his fucking thing right. He's all over the place. Well, Nick the Hat definitely can't work on anything. He's fucked.
Laura, you can't work on anything. You can't work on anything. Your dog Fluffer's your assistant. And you say that you have a corporation, a candle empire, if you will. You can't do anything.
Similar methods were used against Nick, who was forbidden from having any contact with Kate and Chris, despite only having minimal communication, most of it being from me or others in the agency. Guys, this further proves my point of retaliation. So Betty can't have anything to do with the Proudfits. Nick can't have anything to do with the Proudfits. Betty can't.
Who's a proud fit? What's the proud fits? She keeps saying the proud fits. Laura, it's foot. The proud foots. Foot. Not the proud fits. Oh my God, you don't even know people's names. Laura, you suck at this so bad.
Be involved